I reckon I must know every bar in Hong Kong.
We're supposed to be looking for the airport.
Easy, sir. It's attached to the runway.
Anyone else on board I'd know?
We have a visiting member of Parliament.
Yes, I've heard. Thomas Albert Merrion, thumper of tubs and purveyor of hot air.
He said he'd met you.
At a dinner at Greenwich. We exchanged words.
Oh?
Well, his were lengthy and on the subject of cutting defence. Mine were very short and on the subject of cutting throats. I'm bred a regulator with a sense of humour.
They got caught in a fire last year. Softened his brain.
Right, sir. And now I'm a candidate for officer.
I think I might enjoy Age of His Hero.
Would you wait? I'll be about 20 minutes.
Any sign of the new First Lieutenant?
No, not as yet, sir. He should be here shortly. The aircraft has been in the contact.
Are you the captain of HMS Hero?
I am.
Zoe Carter.
Edward Holt.
I'm a freelance reporter for the agencies in the US and the UK.
How do you do?
I'd like to see your resident VIP.
Mr. Merrion? He is on board, but whether he'll see you...
He'll see me. Thomas Merrion has never passed up the opportunity of putting his name in print.
No comment, Miss Carter. This way.
I'm here to see for myself exactly what the Navy does east of Suez. When Hero was detached here from a main group, the Navy invited me to join her in Hong Kong.
And you're living in the ship?
The better to observe.
But also an enemy in the camp.
Certainly not. Mr. Merrion is entitled to his opinion. We hope to change it. Yes?
Oh, excuse me, sir.
James Napier?
Yes, sir.
Come in. Lieutenant Commander James Napier, my new First Lieutenant. This is Miss Zoe Carter, who's a journalist.
Hello.
And Mr. Merrion, our visiting Member of Parliament.
We've met, of course.
How kind of you to remember, sir.
I remember very well.
Yes, well, I won't interrupt.
Would you mind staying, if you've no objection?
None whatever. Sit down, James.
Was that him?
Who?
Our new #1, Adonis in blue jeans.
Well, he's been on an aeroplane for the best part of 24 hours. What do you expect him to travel in? Silk pyjamas and a top hat?
He does hold the George Medal, you know, Monty.
Yes, for bomb disposal.
Then why dress for garbage disposal? Go on, hop to it.
Not at all. But war isn't discouraged by ships. It's obviated by good sense and good manners.
Then you'd condemn the latest nuclear tests in the Pacific as neither good sense nor good manners?
I think it's regrettable that atmospheric tests are starting again, particularly by a nation which is a good and valued and important ally.
A politic reply, Mr. Merrion?
A genuine answer.
You know there's a boat here in Hong Kong that's going to demonstrate against the tests. A man called Christopher Panmure.
I believe I do.
And he can expect your support while you yourself are here in Hong Kong.
That's not the purpose of my visit.
No, but now that you are here, you will support him?
Well, my primary concern must be the British public purse and how the Navy spends our money.
Commander Napier? Captain Holt, you once commanded a Polaris nuclear missile submarine.
I had that privilege.
So what do atmospheric tests mean to you?
An overpowering desire to be going in the opposite direction.
And to you, Commander Napier?
I'm only here for the Chong Sams.
Oh, come, Commander. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. I recall you're rather good at it.
No, sir, unlike you, I am not a practiced public speaker.
Then make it a private opinion.
I agree with Captain Holt. Sir?
The Navy has a term for it, my dear. I believe it's following the senior officers' movements. The promotion prospects doth make cowards of us all.
My opinion, Miss Carter, is that if Mr. Merion had been an MP in 1940, Hitler would have stood a much better chance.
Can I quote you?
There is one P in Napier.
Thank you, gentlemen. Enjoy your stay in Hong Kong.
I'll see you ashore.
Thank you.
Miss Carter.
Do you have a taxi, maybe?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
I know what you're going to say, sir, but he needled me.
Sit down. James, let's put our cards on the table right away. From what I've heard of you, I'm delighted to have you as second in command of Hero.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you've a reputation for being unconventional, if not outrageous. And I don't mind. Do your job and do it well, and I won't interfere.
Understood, sir.
But practice your strange beliefs to the detriment of the ship, and I'll be down on you like several tons of bricks.
Strange beliefs.
You were described to me by a senior officer ashore as a rebel looking for a cause.
And you were described to me as a Don Quixote looking for a windmill.
You're a liar, Napier.
That's true, sir.
All right. Go and make yourself at home. I suppose you do have a uniform?
Yes, sir. I wear it on the Queen's birthday. So, who's doing the turnover?
I am. Acting First Lieutenant.
Oh, yes. Anyway, I've a much more important task for you.
Huh?
Phone up every likely hotel in Hong Kong. Excelsior, Hilton, Mandarin, and find out where a Miss Zoe Carter is staying. Don't talk to her. Just find out where she is.
You're not starting already.
To my knowledge, I've never stopped.
You think he'll play?
I think there's a chance, yes.
Thanks, Zoe. Try.
Don't thank me. I need a story.
But I do believe in what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve.
I've been asked that on the streets of Saigon and Belfast and Beirut.
Zoe.
Don't tell me your problems, Chris. I've got enough of my own.
All right. But you have to concede.
Save
that...
it. Give it all to Thomas Merion.
Miss Carter, how nice to see you again.
Mr. Merion, may I introduce Christopher Panmure?
Mr. Panmure, a great pleasure.
Good of you to see us, sir.
Not at all. Please, sit down. Well,
Well, I've come to ask you, sir, if you'd be prepared to speak on behalf of the Windsong project.
Windsong?
The name of my boat. Oh, I'm sorry. Zoe said you knew all about
yes,
it.
yes, I know all about your work. I commend it.
Then will you speak? At a press conference?
What would you want me to say?
Well, I'd like you to condemn atmospheric nuclear testing. To call for the present series of tests in the Pacific to be abandoned, scrapped. To endorse what I intend to do in Windsong.
Which is?
Sail for the test area, send radio bulletins to the world, cause embarrassment, generally stir up feelings against these tests.
Yes, people tried that in 72 and 73. What was it called? Greenpeace.
A man called MacTaggart in a ketch called Vega.
And now it's a man called Panmure in a boat called Windsong.
With, if you'll help, the voice of an English politician. A strong voice.
Thank you. The problem is, I am a politician. And this whole business has international ramifications.
Yes, which means there should be international protest. But no one gives a damn.
Oh, I do. I assure you. Good evening, gentlemen.
Bill. Long time.
Hello, James. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Monty Wakeland, supply officer.
Monty?
James Napier.
Sir? Well, what'll you have, sir? Gin and tonic?
Is the bar open?
In HMS Hero, the bar never closes.
Well, close it now. You can open it at 6 o'clock in accordance with Captain's standing orders.
But, it's 10 to 6.
Then you haven't long to wait. Bill, if you'd look in on me sometime.
I'll be there.
Thanks.
Who the hell does he think he is?
He thinks he's the first lieutenant. And he's got an appointment to prove it.
This is a warship, a weapon of war, commanded by an ex-Polaris captain, a man who accepts that nuclear warfare is a possibility.
Yes.
Hold your press conference here.
In here.
That's what it needs. Dove among the hawks.
It's good. But they'd never allow it. Captain Holt would never grant permission.
Then don't ask him.
Oh, I'm afraid I must.
Why? If I can use your name, I can alert all the other correspondents. Have it announced on radio and television tonight. Press conference, HMS Hero, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. When it's fait accompli, what can he do?
Refuse to let the press on board.
And be accused of gagging an MP, frustrating the cause of peace. It's too embarrassing for them.
Well, I'm relieved to see the upper deck's not in bad shape, sir.
Not bad. We took a bit of a pounding on the way from Singapore, but otherwise...
Captain Holt, Commander.
Paul? How did they get on board?
They asked to see Mr. Merrion, sir. What I thought...
All right. No harm done. I hope.
Zoe? You aren't being devious, are you?
In what way?
The prose was a bit purple back there. Dove among the hawks and all that.
I just tell them what they want to hear.
But you were selling it very hard. And not for Windsong.
Oh, no. For a story.
Press conference?
I was sure you wouldn't object.
It isn't a question of objection, Mr. Merrion, but of courtesy.
Courtesy?
You are a guest in this ship. And in this ship, nothing happens without my permission. My prior permission.
I apologize sincerely.
James, get onto the Joint Services PRO ashore, warn him, and tell the main gate we'll be getting reporters at 11 tomorrow morning.
Right, sir. May I ask, sir, what the theme of tomorrow's dissertation will be?
The state of the world, Commander. What else?
Close the door, please, James. Mr. Merrion, you may think you've been exceedingly clever, but let me assure you that you are still in this ship only because I prize certain old-fashioned values. While you are my guest, I must accommodate you, your idiosyncrasies, and your incivilities. Let me make clear, however, that should you try to be clever again, you will find yourself sitting on your backside on the jetty with all your possessions around you. I shall be eating ashore.
All right, sir.
Hong Kong 767365.
Hong Kong 767365, please. What's the room number? Room 2117, please. Hello, is that Miss Carter? Oh, this is James Napier from HMS Hero. Yes. Well, I had this very fine speech first, but, Well, I just wanted to ask if you'll have dinner with me. I see. Yes, of course. Goodbye, then. She loves me.
What did she say?
She'd like to write my life story. Posthumously.
Huh?
She told me to drop dead.
Penny for them, Captain.
Miss Carter. Forgive me, I didn't recognize you.
Out of uniform, you mean? What's the attraction of Aberdeen Village?
Oh, peace and quiet.
Oh, yes?
It's on the other side of the island from my ship. What's your excuse?
Much the same.
Do I have you to thank for tomorrow's press conference?
I'm out of uniform, remember? Off duty.
All right. But I have my suspicions.
All right, I'll try and make amends. What's going for dinner?
What am I...
Oh, come on, Captain. Let me buy you a lump of fish on a floating restaurant.
I can't allow you to buy me dinner.
Then I accept. What a nice idea of yours.
Do you envy them their life afloat?
You're joking. I like my water hot and cold. I'd hate to live in one of these boats.
Boats to me mean submarines. And those were my life.
Just tell me what it's like on a Polaris.
I'm out of uniform, off duty.
No need to salute.
I hope you're hungry.
Oh, hungry enough to cope with shark's fin soup, steamed fish, and a bottle or 6 of the local firewater.
Would you be offended if I stay on soft drinks?
I'm not trying to seduce you, Captain.
It's Edward, and I'm not very clever at drinking.
Oh, all it takes is practice.
Then perhaps I'll have a brandy with my coffee.
Thank you. I'm surprised that, with Marion on board, that you haven't been driven to the bottle.
Oh, perhaps his heart's in the right place.
What?
Can't condemn a man entirely because his opinions don't coincide with your own.
Marion's never had an opinion. Well, not an original one, anyway. Everything that he does or utters is strictly for public consumption.
Well, perhaps that could be said of all of us.
I bet you're kind to old ladies and children, and your home is full of dogs, cats, and goldfish.
My home's a cabin in Hero, with not even a parrot inside.
Oh, but in England.
I'm divorced.
Oh.
She's married again, another naval officer. Some people will never learn.
Oh, come on, Mary. How about a drink later on? I see. Well, don't drown yourself. Washing her hair.
Well, what about the turnover?
I'm not spending my first night in Hong Kong mustering naval stores.
Have you got jet lag?
I'd like the opportunity to find out.
I suppose you don't smoke either.
No, I don't.
Are you happy?
You're off duty, remember?
It's a personal question, not a professional one.
Yeah, well, I'm content. And you?
Oh, I get along, kicking around the world.
You've never married?
Is that synonymous with happiness?
No. But you're an attractive girl, intelligent, amusing.
Don't waste your time.
Sorry.
Edward, I've had enough lines to start a railway network. Tonight, I will have 1 coffee, 1 liqueur, and we will share a taxi to my hotel, where we will say goodbye.
My plans are no different.
No, perhaps not. I apologize.
Except that I hope it will be good night at the hotel and not goodbye. I've enjoyed this evening. And I hope we'll meet again.
Oh, we will. Tomorrow at the press conference.
And I believe that any nation which attempts to close off 100,000 square miles of sea should be challenged. But a nation which does that for nuclear testing and the propagation of nuclear weaponry should be actively opposed. The Windsong project is doing just that. And I laud and applaud Mr. Panmure as a champion of the cause of peace.
Would you say then, Mr. Marion, that this is a case where actions speak louder than words?
Indeed I would.
Then why don't you sail in Windsong?
I beg your pardon?
Why don't you undertake the voyage in Windsong?
Are you challenging me?
I think we're all wondering how you're going to talk your way out of it.
Very well, Miss Carter. If Mr. Panmure will have me, I shall sail in Windsong. I shall sail in Windsong, provided that you sail as well to report the voyage.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Pride is a luxury I can't afford.
Sit down. Sit down. You maneuvered Marion into that?
He maneuvered me.
All right. You maneuvered each other into possible danger.
What danger?
Windsong is going into the test area.
So what? Panmure's not going to get himself killed for his cause? And sure as hell Thomas Marion isn't.
And you? What does Windsong really mean to you?
I'm not paid to change the world, Captain. Bye. So you've been sailing slowly?
Yes? I'm Edward Holt, captain of HMS Hero.
I know.
I came to wish you luck.
Oh, yes.
You all right for stores? Medical supplies?
Could provision a protest boat from one of Her Majesty's ships.
Anything you can't get ashore?
We've everything we need, thanks. No room for luxuries in this little lady.
How many of you are going?
Just myself, Marion, and Zoe Carter.
It's their own decision. I was going on my own. But they've both sailed before.
And when do you go?
Tomorrow morning.
Let's see. I wanted to ask you,
Yes?
would you consider refusing to take Miss Carter?
Zoe? Why?
It's no trip for a woman.
Agreed. But Zoe's hardly a... Oh. I get it. Marian's going on condition that Zoe goes. Stop Zoe, and Marian may opt out.
That's not the reason.
Like hell it's not. Your masters must be sweating. English politician involved in an international incident. What are your orders, Captain? Stop Marian at all costs.
I have no orders.
Then you've got one now. Get off my boat.
Did you know I'd be here?
I went down to Repulse Bay yesterday, spoke to Tin Hao, the goddess of seafarers.
What did she say?
She said you'd be wearing that dress because you couldn't pack it. And while you're wearing it, you may as well go to dinner.
Nothing's changed.
I know. Where shall we eat?
Same place? Alcohol? Is it Trafalgar night?
Dutch courage.
Oh?
I want to ask you something.
What?
Don't go in Windsong tomorrow.
I made a deal.
Marian's in the part now. She'll go whether you do or not.
Yes, but unlike Marian, I abide by my public utterances. I'll send you a postcard. Why did your wife leave you?
Who says I didn't leave her?
Because that would be contrary to the code of chivalry.
Nothing to do with chivalry. All to do with the submarine.
Or your Polaris boat.
Polaris boats patrol maybe 3 months at a time. Submerged, lost. One can't even send a cable. End of a patrol, of course. There's 3 months on shore, but it didn't seem to compensate. My wife took it for a year, and I got back from one patrol, and she'd gone.
Did you write to her? Offering to give up your submarines?
No.
Then don't ask me to give up Windsong.
An early night for me, I think. Oh, in case I don't see you in the morning before I go, goodbye and thank you for your hospitality.
Goodbye, sir, and good luck.
Good luck, sir. Thank you. You know, I really believe in this fellow Panmure. Goodbye.
What a phony.
Console yourself. We're getting rid of him.
Has Panmure said where he'll make for after the protest?
But I'll have to come back here to collect the rest of my luggage.
And you will write when you get to a port.
Sure. Can we take separate cabs from here?
Yes? But why?
I hate farewells. Next time you're talking with your goddess Tin Hao, ask her for fair weather for little boats.
I'll do that.
Latest radio bulletin from Windsong, sir. The usual anti-nuclear tirade. Nothing very new.
Sit down, James. I've had a mild expression of displeasure at my handling of this Windsong business.
Well, what could you do about it?
Miriam was under our wing. I allowed the press conference in Hero. It's all caused a few red faces in Whitehall.
That was our clever Miss Carter.
I was wondering if we should make a signal. Propose to sail Hero. Keep an eye on Windsong.
What for?
We could sit outside the test area, watch proceedings. You never know. Miriam may suddenly start screaming to get taken off.
No way. He's having a great time addressing the world by radio.
But if he got bored or scared, we could haul him out.
Well, as long as we're not ordered into the test area. I'm too young to be sterilized by an atom bomb.
Windsong doesn't plan to penetrate the area, according to Zoe Carter.
And you believe her?
I think so.
Strange girl.
Yes.
It's a story about her, you know.
What's that?
Well, the night before Windsong sailed, Peake and I went ashore. We met up with some of the press people, had several jars together.
And?
Well, it seems that Zoe Carter, 6 or 7 years ago, was teamed up with a press photographer. Evidently, he was a pretty good guy. Looked after her. She was very young, adored him. Well, one day outside Saigon, they were walking across a field. He was some way in front of her and trod on a mine. He was blown to pieces before her eyes.
Since when? She's been in Northern Ireland, the Lebanon, Angola, every hotspot in the world.
That's what they say. She courts death, leaves men alone.
All right, I'll tell you, because you've got a right to know. On the understanding that I don't normally debate my decisions or make them by committee.
Sir?
I'm not quite sure of my motivations of wanting to go to the test area. I don't know whether I want to redress our errors, ease the government's embarrassment, or appease my concern for Zoe Carter.
Sir, if I've said anything out of turn,
No, you haven't. I didn't know about Saigon and the mine, but my reading of her is the same as your reporter friends. And I'm beginning to understand her.
Then let's make the signal. Get on our way.
Windsong has now reached the edge of the test area, and as you know, has provoked no reaction whatsoever from anyone. Now, Panmure has made a radio broadcast to the effect that if no announcement is made within the next 9 hours to say that the tests have been cancelled, he will sail Windsong into the area. My feeling is that whatever Windsong does, those tests will go ahead on schedule.
Yeah, but sir, if the bomb is detonated...
Windsong may still be safe. My guess is that Panmure has done his sums.
Will he be in the upwind sector, sir?
On prevailing winds.
But if he's becalmed, suffers blast damage.
Exactly. If for any reason he gets caught, he may need to be rescued.
Oh, by us?
It's possible.
Oh, sir, Windsong's gone round the area perimeter in a circle. If we have to go to her, we shall have to transit the downwind sector and well, hit the fallout.
We've practiced transiting nuclear fallout often enough. But the real thing's a different matter. Bill, you and the NBC protection officer must be on the ball. The interior of the ship has to be totally sealed off from the outside world. Recirculating air must recirculate. Citadel pressure has to be retained. James, the pre-wetting must work. The fire main pressure must be able to wash off the upper deck, not just dribble over it.
Right, sir?
Monty, your cleansing stations must be able to cleanse. That doesn't mean putting people through showers and getting them wet.
All it needs is one mistake.
Yes. One mistake, one slip in the drill, one breach of the Citadel, and we recirculate nuclear fallout instead of air.
difference. They'll still let off the bomb.
I don't think they will.
Look, we're talking about a country, a nation. They're not going to be held to ransom or change their defense program because of 3 insignificant people in 1 insignificant boat.
Well, we've got to give it a try.
I agree.
You're both mad. Look, no one gives a tuppenny damn about you, me, Windsong, or the entire Pacific.
Our government may intercede. They sent HMS Hero from Hong Kong.
Someone did.
She must be almost here by now.
That's what a good she'll do.
She can do a great deal by her very presence.
You've changed your tune, haven't you?
This is rather a special case.
Right. Time's up. We're going in. Tom, prepare a statement and get it off, will you?
Right.
Stop both engines.
Stop both engines.
Ship stopped in planned position, sir, 1 mile outside the area.
Very good.
Plot's just about lost, Windsong, sir. She's opening to the southeast towards the centre of the area at about 5 knots.
She must have a current to help her.
Could wreck Pamuel's arithmetic and his safety margin.
Plot, Captain.
Plot, sir.
They offer DR track for Windsong based on her present heading and speed. Maintain it until you're told to discontinue. I must know at all times where she is.
Sir.
Have you seen this? From Mod?
No, sir.
We're to stay outside the area until the explosion has occurred. Then if Windsong requests assistance, we may enter at our own discretion, dependent upon assessment of conditions prevailing at that time.
That's fair. They could have ordered us to stay out, whatever happened.
You sound almost keen to go in.
Alternatives to start the handover from Lieutenant Peake.
You know the explosion's due at 12 local time.
Yes?
10 minutes beforehand, we'll all go into the cabin and put on long-sleeve jerseys and long slacks.
Are we in real danger?
Ask me at 1 minute past 12.
Assume NBCD State 1, condition Zulu Alpha. I say again, State 1, condition Zulu Alpha. Dress of the day is full number 8 or overalls with anti-flash gear and life jackets. AGRs and personal dosimeters are to be carried. The ship's routine is now being run from the operations room.
There's just been another radio warning, Chris. The explosion will take place in 5 minutes.
Then we failed. Right. We'll all lie down in here facing aft. Zoe, you're all right there. Tom. And just before time, we'll cover our eyes and our face with our hands.
Pilot, how long will we take to get to Windsong? At 25 knots.
2 hours, 10 minutes, sir.
Estimated bearing of Windsong?
138, sir.
Come right to 138. Revolution for 25 knots. Correction, 28 knots.
Half ahead, both
Hands to
engines.
shelter stations. Stand fast, men on watch. Start pre-wetting.
Hands to shelter stations. Stand fast, men on watch.
At least we tried.
Yes. You'll remember next week.
Hero, hero. This is Windsong. This is Windsong. Over.
Windsong, this is Hero. Captain Holt, over.
Hero, Windsong, Panmure. Request rescue operation as soon as possible. Over.
Roger, Windsong. I am closing you best speed from the northwest. Request you steer northwest to meet me. Over.
Sorry, Holt. I'm not giving ground. I'm stopping in my present position, and as soon as you've got the others off, I'm going on.
No!
Over and out. I've got it. The only way Windsong is going to be remembered is if someone dies. If their nuclear explosion actually kills someone.
But radiation?
I know. And that's where you come in. You wanted a story. Make it graphic.
Chris.
No. Ask Zoe. Defeat's commonplace, but death's news.
SIRS indicates rapid increase in radiation level on deck, sir.
Danger level?
Yes, sir.
Right. Number one, I'll crew the Germany myself. I need one volunteer as coxswain.
You've got one.
One of us should stay.
Paul knows the ship better than I do.
All right. Do you have any lowerers?
Volunteer standing by, and I fixed decontamination suits for you and me.
You have the ship, pilot?
I have the ship, sir.
Get these respirators on for what they're worth, and get into the Gemini, quickly as possible.
I'm staying in Windsong, Captain, with Mr. Panmure.
Stop them, they're both idiots.
You're sure? You know I can't come back.
You should have your mask on.
For God's sake, tell them that I'm mad.
Hold on. Get into the Gemini. Now, hurry.
Goodbye.
You realize you'll probably be intercepted.
I intend going out and around the center. And as soon as you've gone, I'll unship the radar reflector. They won't get to us until it's too late.
Medical bag. There are some apples of morphine in case. And I put in a Bible.
Thanks.
Why?
I don't know, but the other day someone called me a phony. And out here, I got to realizing that he was right. Goodbye, Captain.